Okay, if everyone is done announcing their name, then I would like to welcome the speaker. Today we are very fortunate to get association of His Grace Gaura Gadadhar Das Prabhuji from Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee, as he announced himself. He will be enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagvatam 8.1.15 onwards. Prabhuji, whenever you're ready, please proceed. And Nikun Prabhu, I request you to start the recording.
Hare Krishna Mataji and the assembled devotees. Thank you for this.
The recording, Mataji.
Thank you for this opportunity. We'll just start with Mangalacharan first. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasme Shri Gurave Namah. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Aham Shri Gurun Shri Yutapat Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagan Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijan Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanyam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapat Kanchan Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranmani Hari Priye Vansha Kaltarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirye Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Shranvata Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hirdayanto Astohe Abhadrani Midunoti Suhatsatam. Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who resides in everyone's heart as Supersoul, Paramatma, and is a benefactor of all the living entities, cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the hearts of the devotees, who has developed an urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 8, Chapter 1, entitled The Manus, the Administrators of the Universe. So here in this chapter, we'll be reading from verses 15 onwards. So what we see here is like this first chapter uh, will be summarizing four different manus. It will be describing about the four manus who are basically the administrators of this universe. So it will be talking about the Swayambhuva Manu, the Swaroshisha Manu, Uttam Manu, and Tamsa Manu. So here we will see, currently we see there is a description going on from the about the first Manu, and this first Manu, Swayambhuva Manu, along with his wife Shatrupa. So they went on into the forest and they performed severe austerities um, for 100 years. No, and in trance, basically, in that meditational trance, Manu is offering prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we are currently in the context of those prayers where Manu, uh, our Manu, this Samambhuva Manu, no, he is basically talking. No, he's talking about the Supreme Lord. No, he is in that meditational trance, that the austerities he is performing in the forest. In that meditational trance, he is compiling these prayers for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we will try to cover these two verses, 16 and 17, and then those that will conclude these prayers, and then the other topic will start in this context, other pastime about Swayambhuva Manu. Now, so here we see in text 16, the text 15. We'll start with that. We'll read read the verse, translation, and purport. So text number 15. Ihate Bhagavan Isho Nahi Tatra Visajjate Atma Labhena Puranartho Navasidanti Ye Anu Tam. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead is full in opulence by his own gain, yet he acts as the creator, maintainer, and annihilator of this material world. In spite of acting in that way, he is never entangled. Hence, devotees who follow in his footsteps are also never entangled. Purport: as stated in Bhagavad Gita 3:9, Yajanarthat karmano anyatra loko ayam karma bandhanaha. Quotes: work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work binds one to this material world. Quotes close. So, if we do not act in Krishna consciousness, we shall be entangled like silkworms in cocoons. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, appears in order to teach us how to work so that we will not be entangled in this material world. Our real problem is that we are entangled in materialistic activities, and because we are conditioned, our struggle continues through punishment in material existence in one body after another in different forms of life. As the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 15:7, Mamevancho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manashashtani indriyani prakriti stani karshati. Quotes: the living entities in this conditioned world, are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. Quotes close. The living entities are actually minute forms who are part and parcels of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is full in everything, and the small particles of the Lord are also originally qualified like Him. But because of their minute existence, they are infected by material attraction and thus entangled. We thus, we must therefore follow the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then, like Krishna, who is never entangled, by his material activities of creation, maintenance, and annihilation, we will have nothing for which to lament. Navasiddhanti ne ye anutam. Krishna personally gives instructions in Bhagavad Gita, and anyone who follows these instructions is liberated. Following Krishna's instructions is possible when one is a devotee, for Krishna instructs that one should become a devotee. Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Always think of, quotes, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Quotes close. Bhagavad Gita 1865. Always thinking of Krishna means chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, but unless one is an initiated devotee, he cannot do this. As soon as one becomes a devotee, he engages in deity worship. Madhyaji. A devotee's business is to offer obeisances to the Lord and the spiritual master constantly. This principle is the recognized way to come to the platform of bhakti. As soon as one comes to this platform, he gradually understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And simply by understanding Krishna, one is liberated from material bondage. Hare Krishna. So, very nice verse, number 15. We see, as I said, this verse, Swambhu Manu is speaking up, and since his wife Shatrupa is also along with him to perform, to perform these austerities, so probably she will be listening to this verse as well. So here in the meditational trance, so we see Swambhuva Manu performed. He was not attracted to any material opulences, so he went to the forest and he is performing austerities, and he performed austerities for 100 years. And here we see in that meditational trance, while performing those austerities, he is glorifying the personality of Supreme Lord. So he is glorifying the Supreme Lord. So he says that the Supreme Lord is full in all opulences, right? So we see the Supreme Personality, Bhagavan, as Prashan Muni, the father of our our Ved Vyasji, he has given this definition of Bhagavan. So Bhagavan basically means full in, one who is completely full in all the six opulences, right? So so Supreme Lord, so he is full in all opulences. So there's nothing for him to gain or lose, right? And those opulences, if we try to recall those six opulences, so the Supreme Lord is full in knowledge, full in strength, full in beauty, full in renunciation. And then there are two other left actually. Full in strength is already done. No, he's beauty is actually so full in strength, renunciation, beauty, knowledge, strength, right? And the strength, and then there's one. No, brain is like morning. Uh, what's that, Mati?
Renunciation.
Yeah, renunciation. Yeah. So he is completely renounced, and we see like Supreme Lord has all these opulences, and he's completely full in them. And through his expansion, Krishna expands himself as Vishnu incarnations, the three Vishnu forms: Kananadakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Shirodakshay Vishnu. So in these three expansions, he is maintaining the material world, creating, maintaining, and annihilating. But despite being full in opulences, being expanding himself to maintain, create, maintain, and annihilate this universe, material cosmos, he is not entangled. No, that is what Swambhu Manu is saying. So when Supreme Lord is not entangled, and therefore the devotees who follow in his footsteps, and his footsteps means his instructions. So then, when they follow his instructions as laid down in Bhagavad Gita, or as we can see as they are enunciated or followed by his pure devotees, where from their characters we read in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Currently we are reading about Swambhu Manu, right? So from these pure devotees of Lord, we can understand what's the mood of the Lord, and from following those instructions, we will become free, we will become liberated, even in this material world. So as Prabhupada gave this message, like he says, like, in Melbourne, Australia, he said, like these temples are not in Melbourne, or in this material world. These are Vaikuntha. Yeah. So that's the whole thing. Like, no. So when we are free from these attractions, material glarings, no, then we will be free and liberated. But how to become free from that glitter of this material world is following in the instructions of the Lord. And Prabhupada quotes this verse from Bhagavad Gita, that when we perform our karma, our activities for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord, then we are not bounded by this material world. So work has to be done as an offering to the Supreme Lord, as an offering to Krishna. So when we are doing that work as an offering, that becomes a sacrifice, and then it will not bind us to this material world. But otherwise, any work done will have every action has equal and opposite reaction. The third law that has been given. Uh, so we see, but for devotees, they know how to get away with that reactions. And any reaction, good or bad, is what binds us to this material world. The good reactions will take us to the highly heavenly planets, and the heavenly planets are also within this material world. But the bad reactions will take us to the hellish planets. They are also within this material world. So none is good. So we want no karma, no reactions. So that is what Krishna is teaching us. And then Prabhupada gives, like, quotes this Bhagavad Gita 15:7, where he said that we are all parts and parcels of Supreme Lord. These 8,400,000 species of life, they are all parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. No? And but so being parts and parcels of Supreme Lord, they have same qualities as the Supreme Lord. But since we are minute, we get infected by this material creation. We get we get entangled, because we have that free will. We exercise that free will wrongly, and we become entangled in this material world. And Krishna is giving this instruction. Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita 18:65, Manmana bhav madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame veshyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. So we see Krishna says, no, like you, manmana, no, think of me, no, mad bhakta, no, become my devotee. Madhyaji, no, Madhyaji means worship me, and Mam Namaskuru, offer your homage unto me. Right. So these four activities now we need to be doing. And how we can do that, how we can think of Krishna all the time, is by chanting Hare Krishna. Yeah. So, and Prabhupada also makes an important point. So, like, we can chant Mahamantra anytime, anyone can chant. But when we become initiated, we have taken a vow before the parampara, uh, no, in the no before the Guru Maharaj, our gurus, no, in the parampara, we before the fire, so we have made that vow to chant the Mahamantra. So, and definitely sometimes people say, why we why you like to no, why you count the chanting that we do? No, why not? No, I just chant in my mind all the time. No, so we see in this material world, we are all in the conditioned state. What to talk about us? Even our Shad Goswamis in Vrindavan, no, they were chanting the number of mantras, they were chanting. They were counting those mantras they were chanting. So it is for our benefit, that we have to engage all our senses. We have to follow these regulatory principles, Vadi Bhakti, no and when we become mature enough, then we will get into this bhava bhava stage, and we become the pure love of Godhead. We can receive that. Yeah. So no, so as soon as we begin and we become we face towards the Lord and want to understand Him, immediately by understanding Krishna, we can become liberated from the material bondage. So I think we can cover one more verse, 16. This will complete the instructions of Swayambhu Manu, and then the next part of the pastime starts. That will be taken by the next devotee. So let's cover this verse number 16. So basically, see verse 16. Tam ihama tam ihamanam niharang kratam buddham निराशीषं पुराणम् अनन्यचोदितं नृणां शिक्षायन्तं निजवर्त्मना संस्थितं प्रभुं प्रपद्यते प्रपदये अखिलधर्मभावनम्. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ji ki jai. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, works just like an ordinary human being, yet he does not desire to enjoy the fruits of work. He is full in knowledge, free from material desires and diversions, and completely independent. As the supreme teacher of the human society, he teaches his own he teaches his own way of activities, and thus he inaugurates the real path of religion. I request everyone to follow him. Purport. This is the sum and substance of our Krishna consciousness movement. We are simply requesting human society to follow in the footsteps of the teacher of Bhagavad Gita. Follow the instructions of Bhagavad Gita as it is, and your life will be successful. That is the summary of the Krishna consciousness movement. The organizer of Krishna consciousness movement is teaching everyone how to follow Lord Ramachandra, how to follow Lord Krishna, and how to follow Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this material world, we need a leader for a monarchy or good government. Lord Sri Ramachandra, by his practical example, showed how to live for the benefit of all human society. He fought with demons like Ravana. He carried out the orders of his father, and he remained the faithful husband of Mother Sita. Thus, there is no comparison to Lord Ramachandra's acting as an ideal king. Indeed, people still hanker for Ram Rajya, a government conducted like that of Lord Ramchandra. Similarly, although Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he taught his disciple and devotee Arjuna how to lead a life ending in going back home, back to Godhead. Tyaktva deham punar janma naiti mameti. So, Arjuna, all teachings, political, economic, social, religious, cultural, and philosophical, are to be found in Bhagavad Gita. One only has to follow them strictly. The Supreme Personality of Godhead also comes as Lord Chaitanya, just to play the part of a pure devotee. Thus, the Lord teaches us in different ways just to make our lives successful, and Swayambhuva Manu requests us to follow him. Swayambhuva Manu is the leader of mankind, and he has given a book called Manu Samhita to guide human society. Herein, he directs us to follow the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his different incarnations. These incarnations are described in Vedic literature, and Jayadev Goswami has described 10 important incarnations in his summary Keshavadrita Meena Sharira Jai Jagdish Hare. Keshavdrita Narhari Rupa Jai Jagdish Hare. Keshavadrita Buddha Sarira Jai Jagadisha Hare, etc. Swayambhuva Manu instructs us to follow the instructions of God incarnations, especially Krishna's instructions of Bhagavad Gita as it is. Appreciating Bhakti Marg as instructed by by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya thus depicted the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Shikshartham Eka Purusha Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripam Buddhiryastam Aham Prapadaye. Quotes: Let me take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who has descended in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to teach us real knowledge, his devotional service, and detachment from whatever does not foster Krishna consciousness. He has descended because he is an ocean of transcendental mercy. Let me surrender unto his lotus feet. Quotes close. Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka 6.74. In this age of Kali, people cannot follow the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And therefore, the Lord Himself takes the part of Sri Krishna Chaitanya to teach personally how to become Krishna conscious. He asks everyone to follow him and to become a guru to deliver the fallen souls of Kali Yuga. यारे देखे तारे कहा कृष्ण उपदेश अमार आज्ञा गुरु है ना तारा ए desh. Quotes: Instruct everyone to follow the orders of Lord Sri Krishna as they are given in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in this land. Quotes close. CC Madhya Leela 7.128. The coherent purpose of Lord Ramchandra, Lord Krishna, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to teach human society how to be happy by following the instructions of the Supreme Lord. Very nice, actually. So we see here that Swambhuva Manu is concluding in this with this verse. He concludes his prayers. You in this verse, he is saying that Supreme Lord is acting just like an ordinary human being. No, and no, and Prabhupada is expanding on the different incarnations as Lord Ramachandra and Krishna himself when he comes, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So here we see the Lord never had a desire to enjoy the fruits for himself. No, even uh, when Krishna, even he is Dwarkadish, so the king, Krishna let King Ugrasen lead the Yadavas. No, no, and he was never hankering for anything. And like Lord Ramchandra, in one moment he was to be made the king of Ayodhya. He was equipoised, and in the next moment he was asked to leave for the forest. He was equipoised. So we see the Lord is free from desires to enjoy the fruits. And that is basically in continuation from the previous verse. In the previous verse, Swambhuva Manu said, the Lord is not entangled in the material world. And in this verse, we see the reason for that. Why the Lord is not entangled? Because he does not desire to enjoy the fruits of his activities. Is acting like an ordinary human being, but he is not wanting to enjoy the fruits of his work. And that is basically an idea for us to follow, that how we can become free from material desires and thus become liberated even in this material world. So and Krishna is teaching us in different incarnations. He's teaching us how we can surrender to him and follow the real path of religion. And Prabhupada has said uh, on these Kaitava Dharma, these so-called cheating religions, that will not help anyone. This is a shortcut, The people know they people have tendency in this material world, in the conditions state of their life, they have the tendency to be sinful. They have tendency to act independent of the instructions laid down in the scriptures. No, and when they act independently, they incur sinful reactions for that. So, and they become more entangled. No, and that's the human nature actually. The more we become act independent of the scriptures, the guru, sadhu, and shastra, we become more and more entangled in this material world. No, but Krishna is giving us the formula how we can become free by following the real religion. The real path is following the instructions that has been laid down by the in the scriptures, which is basically uh, uh, so there are two paths basically. One is the pravarti marg and one is the nivarti marg. No, so basically, so one is the path of leading to sense enjoyment. The other is the path leading to free, like no, a path leading towards Krishna. You know, free from our sensual activities and or our material activities, and going towards focusing more on the spiritual activities towards Krishna. So the thing is, and the Lord is teaching us, like he comes as Lord Ramchandra, Prabhupada says, just to show how one can be an ideal king, how one can be an ideal husband, how one can be an ideal son, no, and how can one be an ideal father, no. So like the Lord has a desire, no, people may say no, all these due to lack of knowledge or and in their ignorance, but they may say something about Lord Ram, like he sent Mother Sita to forest, no, but the desire behind that was the Lord wanted his two sons to grow up uh, um, in the ashram, no. So we see they were raised up in the ashram of Vashishta Muni. So so we see the Lord, he does certain things, and we will not be able to understand those things unless and until we follow in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. So we cannot just make up our own understanding. We will misunderstand things and commit offenses. So that's why we need to see through the lens of our senior, of the Guru Parampara, like how they have explained us these meanings. And once we understand, and Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita, Janam karam chayame divyam evam yoveti tatvata tyaktva deha punajanna naeti mameti. So Arjuna, like no, just we need to, like one who knows that the Lord's activities are all transcendental. Just by understanding those activities to be transcendental, one can become free from all entanglements and go back home, back to Godhead. So, this Swambhuva Manu is requesting us to follow the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No, because he is laying down, the Supreme Lord is the one who initiates the true religion. Those so called Katava religions, cheating religions, are just simply a mental concoction, no, which is not taking the humanity anywhere towards any, no, it is not taking them up, it is just taking them down and down into the lower hellish planets, no, because they are really suffering. And so Prabhupada also says that Swambhuva Manu, he is given, he being the first Manu, he gave the instructions for the whole mankind in the form of Manu Samhita. Now, which are the guidelines that the human beings have to follow in order uh, to be called a true human civilization. They need to follow it. So we can see Krishna comes, and then Prabhupada says, like even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Krishna comes as the Lord comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is teaching us how we can develop that devotional mood. Now, how we can be, he is teaching us how to become pure devotees and go back home, back to God. So we can see the Krishna is coming in different incarnations. He himself comes in one day of Brahma, just to emphasize, no, and just to emphasize the fact, no, that he cares for us. Now he wants all the living entities back home, back to Godhead. So that is his mood, and with that mood, he is wanting to bring all the living entities back home, back to Godhead. So I will conclude here. These two instructions are the last instructions, and from Swayambhuva Manu, and I will no, and I will open up the forum for any questions or any reflections or any additions the devotees will like to make. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Madhavat Pranam to you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. I heard you after like many months. It was very nice class. Thank you so much for your association through the class. So Prabhuji, you were mentioning that people like to do sinful activities. Uh, they like to do sinful activities. You mentioned one line in your
Yeah, Mataji.
last part, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, so like when we connect this to the four regulative principles, like okay, no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit relationship, and the fourth one is no gambling.
yeah,
Yeah, so when we these four regulations, we take while we take a oath while initiation. So are all of them different degrees of sinful reaction? Like for example, if somebody is taking intoxication, uh, how is sinful reaction connected to that?
yeah.
And then
So yeah,
similarly for gambling, if you can explain a little bit in
yeah,
connection to,
yeah,
like I can understand about, sorry, Prabhuji, I'll
yeah,
just complete
yeah.
about
Sure.
meat eating. I can understand because you're killing, so sin is there. We are even offering the cauliflower because if you pluck a cauliflower, it's also sinful because the plant might get hurt. Maybe it's immature cauliflower and it's a small little baby and we just got it out. So we offer bhoga and take prasadam. But other aspects, can you explain a little bit? Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, very nice question, Mataji. So, like, no, each of these regulative principles that we follow, that have been laid down, no, they have a no, each of them affects. So there are four pillars of religion, Mataji, right? So we read from scriptures. So in each of the age, so in Satyuga, all the four pillars were there, and in this Kali Yuga, the only one pillar is left is truthfulness, and that is also being shattered day by day. So like the four pillars of truthful, four pillars of religion, are like and each of these regulative principles affect that, is connected with that pillar. So like as you said, Mataji, the meat eating, it's very simple. With meat eating, it takes away the mercy from the living, from the living entity, right? So when we say, no meat eating, it is connected with the mercy aspect. Mercifulness is the pillar of religion. No, it cannot be called a true religion if there is no mercy there, right? So then the second aspect, second regulative principle is, now we see, no illicit relationships, right? So in that illicit, we come across, so that affects the cleanliness aspect. No, so the cleanliness is the second pillar of religion. No, then the third regulative principle is, as you were saying, Madhavi, like the intoxication. So the intoxication thing, it no, it may not be, no, definitely it may not be hurting others, Mataji, but like we are killing our own soul, we are killing ourselves. So because it affects the austerity aspect. So austerity is the third pillar of religion, which gets shattered when person takes intoxication, no, including tea and coffee. So what happens is, so intoxication basically, people like, no, like just as a simple example, like the Madaji, like, no, we all were taking tea, coffee, for sure, and we can see, like, no, with the tea and coffee, like, no, like with milk, just a simple small example, Mataji, like milk, people say, like, no, they are so conditioned, They say, what's a big deal about coffee or tea, right? So just so, but it affects our austerity aspect. No, so at a, like if somebody is addicted to taking tea at a certain time, no, at that particular time um, he will get a urge to have tea or coffee that time, right? So it affects the austerity aspect. No, and we all devotees, like, we don't take tea, coffee, and we feel free. Even if somebody doesn't, like, no, if we are like food prasadam, like we eat, no, even if we are traveling and all, it's very easy. We are not no, we are not we are not tied up with that. Likewise, so it affects the austerity. So what is, so that means a religion has to have the austerity aspect. There is no it no some cult cannot be called a religion unless it has the austerity aspect, right? So the religion is, it has to have the third aspect, is austerity. And without austerity, no, how can we achieve the higher goal? Now, if we are already engrossed, the body is so conditioned that we are getting the urge, no, to have something which is taking us away from Krishna on the spiritual path. And the fourth is, so we had intoxication and so meat eating, gambling. So gambling is basically affecting the truthfulness, right? So, like, no, the truthfulness is the fourth aspect which gets affected, because people who are gambling is basically cheating, and they're deceiving. And that is that fourth principle affects the fourth principle, truthfulness. So all of these four principles are the four pillars of religion. No, and by following the regulative principles, we are trying to protect these four principles, four pillars in our life, uh, to become Krishna conscious, so to come out of this conditioned stage of life. Yeah, that's the whole idea, Mataji. And but one good thing about this one aspect of truthfulness. So one's truthfulness basically is the only thing that is left in this Kali Yuga. But by being truthfulness, by following truthfulness, we can get the benefit of other three principles as well. So that is the benediction of this age of Kali. Like, when we are truthful, by following the principles of truthfulness, no, by following the scriptures, we will automatically achieve the other three pillars, other three aspects which are missing in this age of Kali. Yeah, Mati, am I clear?
Prabhuji, truthfulness is connected to gambling, right?
Yeah. It basically, gambling shatters the truthfulness, because one has to deceive, one has to cheat in order to gamble and win. Yeah, basically that's why gambling is prohibited. Like, no, we are gaining by hurting at the cost of somebody else. No, so all this gambling that happens, no, it basically, no, that, like, it's basically makes us conditioned in this material world. And we can see, like, no, people who, like, no, not to talk, like, I know people go for stocks and all. So one people who have invested money in the stocks, they're always looking at the stock market, no, what's the updates going on, give, no. And we can see, uh, if they're so engrossed in the stock market, stocks going up and down, where is the time to think about Krishna, right? Even in the subtle mind, when they go to rest, they are meditating on how, uh, what's the condition of the stocks, what is the situation of the stock market. Yeah, so we can see, uh, now each of these principles, the regulative principles, there's a meaning behind that, and each of this that affects the four pillars of religion. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And I think out of all of them, meat eating is the most sinful. Uh,
Which Mataji?
the meat eating is the most sinful, basically.
Yeah, Mataji, like, no, see, it's one of the conditioned
Because,
stage, Mataji.
yeah,
Like, no, like, if someone is born in a family of meat eaters, right, and they are eating meat, so he, know, in that family, like, no, he's, no, by his karma, he's born in that, so he's naturally, so he's naturally raised in that way. But we can see this Krishna consciousness is so powerful, right? Like when Prabhupada, like no one could even think like these Westerners could get away with this, no, with the four regulative principles. No, so when Prabhupada came here to America, like he was being told that it's not, they will not follow these regulative principles. No, Prabhupada said like no, I'm not like no, I'm not looking for followers. Like no, these are the basic, they need to follow if they want to become Krishna conscious. Yeah.
Yes, and also like Prabhupada said that don't tell anyone to follow the regulations. Tell them to chant the holy name. That's more powerful than
Yeah.
they will themselves start following like that. And recently, Prabhuji, I had heard there are like these 10 quotes Prabhupada gave very often from Bhagavad Gita and other Puranas. But the first one is Hare Krishna Mahamantra only. So that is the most quoted, and then there were other also, like different Sanskrit quotes. I'd heard last Sunday class, so I just remember that point, just to remember myself. I was mentioning that. So yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for mentioning this, and I think the regulations are correlated together because. Just like we don't eat onion garlic because it puts us in a tamasic mode. We don't take tea; it gets addicted. So all these are kind of preventing us on the part of bhakti. May not be very, very sinful to all a degree, just like meat eating, because the other three we are doing on ourselves only, right? Suppose
No.
I'm the one, or I'm taking a smoke, I'm the one intoxicating myself. Or it's like I'm going for gambling, maybe I need some more money, so I need to gamble. Or illicit is my, I'm not happy with my spouse or whatever I'm doing. And but then of course that also everything is bad. But just I was thinking that actually my Guru Maharaj was saying that out of all the four regulative principles, if someone can kind of uh, follow the meat eating, and don't eat meat, that will help him in spiritual life.
Yeah.
uh, then the other three will come by with time, with chanting, pure chanting. So thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I'm sure others have
Great.
questions.
Yeah.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mother. Hare Krishna. So I guess we can conclude today's discussion. Vancha kalptarubhaischa kripa sindhu bhaivacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo nama. Hare Krishna, everyone.
की जय,
Thank you.
प्रभुपाद की जय, His Grace
Yeah.
Yes,
Jagannatha की
Yeah.
जय.
Yeah. Thank you, bhai.
thank you
Hare
so much,
Krishna.
Prabhuji, for the
Thank you,
nectarian
Prabhuji.
class.
Yeah, thank
Hare
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Dhanwad.
Hare Krishna.